being an owner operator is extremely expensive. I would say scarily expensive, okay?
Man, look at this trail I got to back under, man. Look at that daggone trail I got to back under. I got to back under this orange trailer right with all these goddamn buzzards under there, man.
One of my mentors, probably 20 years ago, told me when I was in another business, he said, in America, you need to make at least $100,000 a year just to survive. And that proved to be true in the business that I was in, that I met this mentor through. But it's the exact same thing in the trucking business, all right? I would assume it's probably the same in any business, right? So if you're thinking $100,000 a year is a lot of money, and you got your own business, especially your own trucking business, $100,000 a year is not a lot of money, and I'm gonna show you that in this video. So, here's some of the expenses that you're gonna be looking at as an owner-operator having your own truck, right? So, the first thing is the cost of the truck. Okay, obviously, you're either gonna have to shell out some cash for the truck, or if you're gonna make a payment, or if you're gonna finance it, you're gonna have a payment on the truck. But just gonna run some quick figures by you that we're dealing with here with this truck. So the first thing is, if I was an owner operator, which I'm not right now, I just drive a truck for someone. And you may want to consider doing that, right? A lot of people say it's better if you're going to get in the trucking industry to just drive for someone, right? So if you're going to be an owner operator, you're going to need $1,000 a month set aside for expenses, set aside for things to come up, right? Set aside, because things are going to happen, right? And when things happen with your truck, to avoid going into debt, to avoid taking out loans, right? You're gonna need a way to stop that. So you want to be putting away $1,000 a month just for maintenance on your truck, so you can have the cash when you need to do maintenance on your truck, right? You want to keep your equipment running good, because it's going to cost you more over the long haul if your equipment is not upkept properly. So $1,000 a month just for the upkeep of the truck. If I was an owner operator, the cost of my insurance would be $2,200 a month. Now, I'm on my dad's insurance now, that's who I drive for, and it's still $1,500 a month to insure me under his insurance. But if I was on my own insurance policy, it would be $2,200. So we're gonna call that, we're gonna say $2,000 a month. We're gonna call that $24,000 a year, plus another $200 a month. That's gonna give you a total of another $2,400 a year. So $26,400 a year. We'll just call it $27,000 a year for insurance. $1,000 a month for maintenance. That's another $12,000, okay? So $27,000 plus $12,000 is $39,000 a year just for insurance and maintenance on the truck. And you haven't put any fuel in the truck yet. So the amount of mileage that we're having to do an average $800, $900, $1,000 a week in fuel. Okay, so that's another $4,000 a month in fuel. That's another $52,000 a year. We'll just call it $50,000 a year for fuel costs. $50,000 a year for fuel costs, and another, $39,000 for insurance and maintenance. That's $89,000. We'll just call it $90,000 that you're gonna have to make as an owner operator just to operate the truck. Now, this is about being an owner operator. My dad has a driver in the truck, me. So if you're not an owner operator, if you're an owner but you're not operating the truck, so then you got to also figure in, what the driver has to make as well, right? So those are the expenses, some of the expenses that you're going to be looking at as an owner operator. Now, of course, you can make a bunch of money as an owner operator as well, but all truckers won't go through this experience. But my experience with driving a truck, since I've been driving a truck, is the income. The expenses are pretty regular, but the income may not be. And I'm a driver, okay? So I know that as a driver for a company, I may not have as much inconsistency in my runs as I have working for my dad, right? But you know, that has been pretty much my experience. I'm sure there are other truckers that go through that as well. You got a consistent set of expenses that are coming in every single month, but you may not have consistent income that comes in, or consistent loads that's coming in every single week, consistent runs that's coming in every single week like they should come in. Sometimes we have issues, equipment issues, right? Sometimes the truck is down, and of course you can't run, you can't make money if the truck is down. Sometimes the equipment at the places that we're getting loaded at, they may be down. Sometimes they may not have the inventory to run. So there's a lot of things that factor how consistent my check and our check is. So that's why I'm not really going into too much as far as how much the income side of things are, because my experience in trucking so far has been, you know, consistent expenses, but not so consistent income. And you got to take that into mind, because if you're an owner operator, that's something that you're going to have to figure out. You're going to have to figure out a way when the money goes short. However, as a driver, you don't have to deal with any of that. You're not going to see as much money, of course, as you would if you were the business owner, but it's risk versus reward, right? It's what I'm getting as opposed to what I got to put out. So if I can make more money as an owner operator, but I've got much more of a headache that comes along with it, some people would just say, you know what? Give me my check at the end of the week. I don't want to have to deal with maintenance. I don't want to have to deal with fuel. I don't want to have to find work. I don't want to have to deal with none of that stuff, right? So you know, you can definitely, there are people out here that definitely make the argument that if you're going to get into trucking, man, in 2019, that's what year it is now, there used to be a lot more money in trucking than there is right now. There's a lot of people that'll make that argument, that'll tell you, hey, look, man, get your CDL, just go drive for somebody, right? Get you a good deal. Make sure you're getting your insurance and all your benefits and all that good stuff taken care of. And you ain't got to worry about none of that. So it's just a matter of you and what you want and what you value. If you know, as far as whether you want to be an owner operator, the truck, have your own business, have a little bit more control, have a little bit more freedom, or whether you want to have a little bit less headache and just be a driver and drive for someone else and just get your check and go home at night.